Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. We've got Alicia Berglund and myself, Lindsay Walsh, here from Tidestone Solutions in Portland, Maine. And we are a Dynamics GP partner, and we've been in business for over 20 years. We don't just specialize in implementations and training, we also specialize in business process. And our biggest strength is our long-term relationships that we have with our customers. We're not just a software vendor looking to sell software and move on. We really like to be involved with our customers as their trusted partner for many, many years to help them reach multiple milestones. We specialize in implementations and training, customizing the system to meet your specific business process, automating tasks to create efficiencies, and really working one-on-one with our clients to help make their Dynamics GP product an integral part of their company's success. And with that, I'd like to welcome Marty and Rhonda from Rockton Software. And they're going to do a demonstration of Auditor and Dynamics Toolbox Demo, both of which are really slick products that really help improve how you use GP. And I'll hand it over to Rhonda now.
And Rhonda, I have made you the presenter now.
And actually, if I can jump in over Rhonda and just do a little overview. Rhonda's going to do our presentation today, and she is a former Microsoft employee. She was in their support area and is well familiar with a lot of features of ours. She ran across them through support for over 12 years. And my name is Marty Mitchell. I'm the sales manager for Rockton Software. And first and foremost, I would like to thank everybody at Tidestone for inviting us and supporting our products, believing in our products, and bringing this opportunity for everyone here today to see them. Just a little housekeeping. Since everybody's muted, that means if you have a question, please, as we go, just type it in the chat area, and we'll do our best to pay attention to that and address those as they come along. That keeps the presentation, the sound here pretty clean by doing it that way. We're also going to play a little game today. We at Rockton are kind of renowned for having fun, and so while we work and show you some products, we like to play a little game. So everybody needs to flex their fingers, pay very close attention, because throughout the presentation I may be asking a couple of questions. The first person who types in the correct answer at the end, the one who has the most right answers, will win a little prize. So we just want you to make sure that you're listening. All the questions that we ask will be given to you at some point during the presentation. So with that, I'd like to review a little bit who Rockton is. We've been in business since 1999, roughly 14 years. We are exclusive to Microsoft Dynamics GP. And what we do is, as a general overview, is we have taken some of the parts of GP that are a little less intuitive or not particularly user-friendly, and our 5 products make GP work simpler and easier. Of those 5 products, we're only going to be showing you 2 today, which is Auditor and Dynamics GP Toolbox. Those 2 products work together beautifully to give you a seamless security and compliance. If that is an issue for you, it also tracks and audits, and we'll go into that in more detail. But additionally, we also have a product called SmartFill, and SmartFill is, if you will, a Google or Bing search type tool for GP. It enables you to type in what you know in any primary field, whether it's numeric or alpha. It doesn't matter, and SmartFill will bring up those results for you. And it works across GP, and all of our products work with any other third-party products as long as they're also DEX-based like GP. So the second product that we have is Dynamics Report Manager, and that is a report launching tool. gives you full flexibility to put reports out, email them, and make them simple and easy to access. Also, we have a product called OmniPrice, which is a pricing tool. That is our most specialized product, and it works for anybody who's in essentially manufacturing or has a large list of products, pricing, or contracts, specialized pricing for different clients. So if you have any questions about those products or the products that we show today, after this, please get in touch with your consultant at Tidestone and ask them for pricing, or if you'd like to see a more detailed or customized presentation, we'll be happy to do that for you as well, and they'll coordinate that for you. And then the other thing I just wanted to remind everyone is all of our products, we offer free trial reg keys. We want you to be confident and test in your own system and make 100% sure that this is something that you want and that will work for you. And that's all my spiel. And with that, I'll turn it over to Rhonda.
All right. Thank you, Marty. So we will start off with Auditor. And what Auditor does is it will track changes in your system as well as records you add or delete. It'll tell you who made the change, what change was made, when the change was made, and you can also have it set up so that you enter a note and determine why the change was made. You can audit forms, tables, but also SQL tables that might not be in GP. And as Marty said, our products work with third-party products that are DEX-based, so this would be true for Auditor as well. So what we'll do is start with looking at an audit group. And an audit group is basically where you start all your audits. And I have a few different ones set up. So we will take a look at a purchasing audit. And here I have a few set up. There's some for the forms, there's some for the table, and then also some SQL table audits. But we're going to look at this payables transaction entry window audit. If I click on it, I can see the information down below. But if I want to make any changes, I can just go to the Edit button. And in here, this is where I would come in and select which window I want to work with or which form and what fields I want to audit. And I would just select those and mark them using the icons up here. And then I can mark a key field or what I want to audit. And I can also use the field selection wizard, which will open the window and help you select the fields. And for a table audit, it's a little different. In here, I can come in and mark if I want to track adds, deletes, and changes, and then these are the fields that I want to audit for changes. And then also, if I want to put a note on it, I can. And so once you have your audit group set up, you can go out and start auditing and entering your transactions. And so for us, we're going to make a change to a payment term on an invoice because that's something that I'm auditing, which is the payment terms. So if I go to the purchasing menu and select transaction entry, I'll pull up a record that I already have saved. And I can come in here and change my payment term and just click Save. And at this point, I don't notice that it's being audited. It's not going to affect my entry at all. I just keep going like normal. And we'll do another one too. We'll change the pay rate on an employee card. So I'll go in here and go into the employee. And I can select an employee. Oops, sorry, I should be in the pay code window.
While you're going in that, I'd like to jump in if I can for just a second and ask the first question of the day. So everybody flex your fingers. I would like to ask, how many products in total does Rockton Software offer?
Okay, I'll let you guys go ahead and answer that at the same time. I've selected my pay code, and if I come down, we have an answer.
Go ahead. Gordon Dean got it. He was quick on the draw.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the pay rate field, and I'm going to change the pay rate and tab off. And again, I don't notice the change here. If I click Save, that's for HR. In here, I can enter a note, and I can have notes or reasons set up as to why I'm making a change, but I can also just type it in as well. And I only got the note on this field because I have that field set up to enter a note where I didn't when I changed my payment term. So close that window. So I've made a couple changes. So in order to see the changes, I can go into Smart List and view my audits. And in Smart List, you can set up different Smart Lists to pull the information that you want to see for your audits. I have my full audit, which will return all of my records. I can do it based on changes to a customer, or if I wanted to look at pay rate changes. And this was my change for today. So I see this was my old field value, this is my new field value, and this is the note that I entered. I also have one set up for today, so I can take a look at that payables transaction change that we made. And again, I can see what my field values are. And then here, let me go back over here. For transactions that you might add, you won't see an old field value and a new field value. So you would just double click on it, and you can drill back and get more information. And then drill back here to see what the new document was so that you know what record was added. And you can include other fields too. You just mark the reference fields. So that's the Smart List side. There is a message center set up. So in here, this is where you would come and determine how you're going to be notified of these changes. And you'll have all your users listed, so you mark who you want, and you would determine if you want to do it through Message Center or through email or both. And so in this case, Rhonda would receive an email when there was a change for those that she marked to be notified on, or through Message Center. And Message Center just looks like this. So you come in, you'd see all your changes that you're tracking. And I would know that I haven't reviewed them yet by the black circle next to it. So there's just two ways to be notified of audits. Another thing, there's also the ability to view related audits. So I'll go into the customer card. And I will select Baker's Emporium. And so here, if I go to Additional and View Related Audits, I can pull up and see what audits I've had, what changes I've had previously, so I can see all that information. And then the last thing I want to show you is when you saw my Smart List, it was starting to get quite long. And this is because everything is stored in one table for all the companies. And so you might want to remove some of the records so that your Smart List doesn't get too long, or maybe you've reviewed them and you're fine with the changes that were made. You can use this Auditor Table Archive and Purge feature. And what this does is it allows you to archive some of the records or all of the records, however you want to do it. And it'll save it to an XML file so that you can still access it through Excel later. And then you can use the Purge feature, which is basically removing the history. And so I can come in here and use this Edit button and determine what records I want to remove. So you can do it based on a date. You could do it based on a user, based on the specific event, however you wanted to do it. And you can just select that information here and then archive and purge. And we do recommend that you archive first so that you still have the records just in case, and then you can purge them, which will remove them from the tables completely. So that's an overview of Auditor.
And Rhonda, can I just jump in and ask a real quick question?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, actually regarding Auditor, I wanted to ask you about the flexibility because, like you were saying, we keep everything in one table, but of course we do that by design so that it makes it easy for reporting and sorting and pulling the data as you need it. Is that correct?
Right, which is why it's great with the Smart List, because then when you're in here, you could even do a report so that you're pulling specific information, but you're pulling it for multiple companies if you had multiple companies. And so it just gives you the flexibility of reporting to do whatever you need to do.
And that is actually a unique feature of Auditor, correct?
Right.
Yep. So I just wanted to share that while it is all in one place, we can kind of, because of the Smart List, slice it and dice it any way we want. But now another question. So flexing of fingers, everybody's ready. I would like to know if anyone remembers what year Rockton was started. I think I stumped the audience. Up. We got an answer. We got an answer here from Tidestone. So it was 1999, or we have been in business for 14 years. So we didn't just start yesterday. And the other thing I did want to share is we have a lot of folks that have already been on these products, and we're happy to offer some references. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if we can coax anyone in this group, but I believe some of the attendees here actually own Auditor and may be willing to share a little feedback about their experience with it. But actually, you could either type in yes if you're willing, and we can unmute you.
I think what it is, Marty, is that we have a customer who has SmartFill.
Oh.
And we have a customer looking
Okay.
at Auditor that's on the call.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Not a problem. So just to explain then, what we try to do is make sure that when anyone is considering any of these products, that we do have ready references available. And you can talk to somebody else. We'll try to find somebody in a similar industry that you can talk to if you want to get an idea from them how they're using it and their successes with it. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Rhonda.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about our toolbox tools. We have, I believe there's 22 of them now. And coming from support, the one thing I know is there is a tool in here for pretty much everybody. Just depends on what you do. So we're going to kind of go through them briefly. We'll skip a couple of them just because they're kind of self-explanatory and just due to time, and then we'll take a look at a couple. So the toolbox is broken down into 4 separate sections. There's security, administration, business processes, and user experience. So under the security, there's the password policy options, which just allows you to determine if you want your passwords to be a certain length or have certain characters. The inactivity timeout, this just allows you to have users logged out gracefully when they've been inactive for a certain period of time. And you can determine what you want that inactivity period to be. So you just enter in the minutes and you can have them logged out. You can also exclude certain users, so maybe you don't want the IT people ever logged out, or managers or something like that. You can add them in here as well. The next one, there's a user lockout, which this is nice if they forgot their password and you just want to be aware of who's forgetting the password, or maybe somebody's trying to log in that shouldn't be. So after 3 unsuccessful attempts, they're locked out of GP. The safe login, this one is good if you have a lot of third-party products. Sometimes when you're first logging into GP, you can still maneuver around, but everything's not yet initialized. So this will make sure everything is initialized before it lets you start working in GP. Because if it's not all initialized and you start doing something, you could have issues with things not getting into the tables or whatnot. The redirect, this allows you to assign a different window to open when you don't have access to a specific window. So maybe you don't have access to customer maintenance, but you want them to still see customer inquiry or something like that. So you can redirect it to a different window. The security manager, this allows you to view and manage security through a more intuitive way. It's a little easier than trying to go through the roles and tasks within GP. But, goodness, can everyone still hear me? I'm getting a lot of feedback. Okay, there we go.
I just thought it was your washing machine in the background.
So with Security Manager, the great thing about this is that you can export your security through Security Manager, make changes, and then import it back in, so it's quick and easy. So for the administration tools, Version Pro, this is great if you have a lot of third-party products and a lot of workstations, because this, when you log in, will compare your builds on the workstations to make sure that everyone is up to date. Because again, if you have workstations that are on different builds of different products, it can cause issues with the data. And the login logging, this will just track actual logins against the GP registered count, so you can keep track of that. And then the system maintenance lockout, this one a lot of people like, especially at year end, or if you need to run check links or anything like this. What this allows you to do is when the users are logged out, you can have a message pop up telling them that they can't log in and explaining why they can't log in. So if you're running check links, you can just say system maintenance being done, please wait, or however you want to do it. And you can enter your own lockout message and then how long you want it to display. Under the business processes, there's a couple different tools. The reason for hold, this is if you place a customer or a vendor on hold, it'll force you to enter a reason. So let's just do that quick. So if I come in here and place a customer on hold, it'll pop up with a window and I need to explain why I'm putting it on hold. And then save it. And then from that point forward, at least I can see the reason for hold. Oops, I need to save it first. And every time I pull that customer up somewhere, then it'll tell me they're on hold, this is why. The DocSync. This tool allows you to enter a mask so that when you're transferring from a quote to an order or an order to an invoice or a quote to an invoice, to set it so that you can still track where the original document was. And of course GP offers master numbers and that's fine, but this is more on the front end so that you're looking right at the document number and you can see that. So if you use the pound sign, it'll use the rightmost numeric part of the document number, meaning this part. So in this example, I have ORD and the pound sign. If my next number is QTest 1025, it'll transfer to ORD 1025. Or I can use the equal symbol and it will use the entire document number. So if I have IV and an equal symbol, when I transfer it, it'll use this entire number. And so I know that this is now an invoice, but it came from order number 2233. So that's nice when you have a lot of transferring of documents. Payment approval. This allows you to enter thresholds of payment amounts so that you can track payments as you're entering them and have them approved. And you can enter whatever your tier threshold is going to be, and then you can enter who the approvers are going to be. And over here I can choose to approve in tier order, or I can unmark that option so that when I'm entering a payment and I need people to approve them, they don't have to go, it doesn't have to go to tier 1 first and then tier 2 and then tier 3. As long as all 3 tiers approve them, it doesn't have to be in order unless I have this box marked. The user experience tools, these are probably the ones I hear about the most, mainly Mentor and Inspector. What Mentor does is it will provide you the path to a specific window you might be looking for, but you might not remember what window it is. So we'll open the Mentor. In here, if I need to find a window, so I know that it has the word removal in it, but I can't remember the whole name, I can just type in removal and search, and it will return anything that has the word removal in it.
Rhonda, we have a question.
Okay.
One of the folks is asking if payment approval sends email notifications when the approval is needed.
No, it doesn't. You would just have to go into the windows and look for approvals, but it doesn't send emails to the approvers to let you know. Is there anything else in there?
Yes, there's a question from Todd. It came to me, so I forwarded it to the entire audience about, does the customer on hold message appear in the sales transaction entry screen?
Okay, let me move that aside and we can go in there. And it'll pop up when you try to use that customer. So you'll see why the customer is on hold.
Good questions.
Okay. So pop back over to Mentor. So this tool is great for, somebody that's not in GP a lot, or maybe a new employee, or maybe you have temp employees or something like that. This will help them to find the windows that they need to go to. And here I can see, it'll also show me if I have access to the window or if I don't have access to the window. The next tool, Inspector, this one is great if you create reports or if you just need to know the field name in a table for something. What it does is it gives technical information about the fields in the windows, and in order to use it, you open the Inspector window, and then you open the window you want information about. And so what this does is when the window opens, it starts populating, letting you know what tables are used in that window. You can come down here and change this to be the tables that contain this field. So in this example, I'm on the SOT type. If I get down to the document number, you'll notice that the tables change, and I can see up here what form I'm in and what the column name is for the field that I'm on. And over here, I can just keep tabbing through, and it'll continue to change on the inspector side, showing me which tables it's in. And I know a lot of people use this along with Auditor when they're trying to set up a table audit. Okay. This tool called pop-ups, this allows you to create pop-up messages so that when you access a window, it'll pop up in a little message window letting you know a tip of the day, or if you have certain information that you want for that window, if it's a reminder to check something, whatever you want it to do. And then you can also enable My Notes, and you can create notes specific for yourself. And down here we have some tools called widgets. This one, the close confirmation. So I have a tendency to accidentally click the X up here in the corner and close GP when I'm closing a bunch of other things. And so if I accidentally click that, this will just ask me, do you truly intend to exit? So if I did that, I would get a message, are you sure you want to exit? No, I don't. So it'll just bring me back in again. The company and title bar, this is great if you have a lot of companies, and especially if you switch back and forth between them. It'll just show you what company you're in the title bar. In the autofill system password, this allows you to only have to enter the system password once per GP login session. And once you do that, you've entered it once, you don't have to keep entering it every time you go to something on the system menu. And then once you log out of GP and log back in again, you'd have to enter it again once. So these cover these tools here. There is another one that's outside of this.
And before you show the last one, I'd like to throw out one more question here. We saw a lot of tools. Can somebody type in one feature, one tool in the toolbox, for instance, like the login logging? Excellent. DocSync is one. Gordon, you got that one right too.
Okay. So there is another tool that's not listed in that toolbox window but has its own window, is the period open close. And this tool just allows you to come in here, and if you have a lot of companies, you can open and close your fiscal periods all at the same time for multiple companies, and also create new fiscal periods. So here you would just mark whatever companies this is for, and also the year. And then down here I can come in and choose if I want to close certain periods, if I want to close certain series, if I want to close them all, however I want to do it. And just mark it, and it'll close everything all at once rather than having to go through the fiscal period setup and marking each box separately. And then from here I can also choose to generate the next fiscal year. All right, well, that covers our tools. Are there any other questions? No, we've had a couple already, but on the rest of the tools?
Or any questions around how Auditor and Toolbox perhaps work together, and also just the purpose of these products. We can use them for compliance and security, but they also work great just for simple data integrity, as I'm sure you've seen, and control features. There we go, yeah.
If you do anything with segregation of duties, I can show you this quick. You can create segregation of duty group IDs. And what you do here is you enter your group ID and then you assign whatever processes or forms that you want to put under there that particular group would handle. And then I have another group for PM transactions that is a little different. And based on your segregation of duties or whatever you're following, you maybe don't want your users to cross over into each of those groups. And so what you can do here is use this printer icon and print the report, and this will show you where you have segregation of duty conflicts, and I would see what users have those conflicts. And so I have conflicts between these two groups. And for SA or a power user, you would probably see that, but I would probably want to look at some of these other users to make sure that they should completely be crossing over that way and having access to those duties. And it's not going to stop that user from doing anything because there is a conflict. You just use this report to see that there is a conflict and then handle it how you want to.
Okay, well that's really awesome. Thank you. So if there are no other questions, we've opened the floor at this point. I've turned off my vacuum cleaner, so everybody should be able to hear. Would like to remind everyone that we do offer free trial reg keys, so you can test this in your own test environment. Or actually even install it in your live environment. It's full feature product, and that our products work and are compatible with all of the third-party products that are DEX-based. Thanks, Rhonda. That was great, and thank you, folks at Tidestone, for hosting us yet again. And
thank you for being there for us. And I just wanted to let everyone know that if you're going to Convergence, that Rockton will be there, and so will Tidestone. So make sure you look for us and say hello. And we'll just let Lindsay close us off here if there aren't any other questions, and let you know about some of our upcoming events.
Well, and congratulations. Gordon won our prize, which is a nice little Starbucks coffee card, and I'll get with you guys offline later so I can mail that to you, Gordon. Congratulations.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
good.
Nice job, Gordon.
Thank you so much, Rockton. Great product.
There is another question out there that says, how long is a demo key good for?
Yep, I see it now. Yep, typically that's 30 days. But if there's any particular reason that you need to extend it a little bit longer than that, we're usually pretty flexible, and we try to accommodate you on that.
And we can provide links to those demo keys. We'll put them up with, or how to access them when we post this webinar on our website later this week. So again, thank you so much to, we've got one more question. What does the install process for the demo consist of?
Oh, just with the demo keys, you mean?
Yes.
The install process, I think they're all EXEs now. It's either just dropping a chunk file, but I think most of them are EXEs where you just run the .exe and it'll install everything for you, so it's pretty simple. And because most of our stuff is stored at the system level, the only one I think that's different is OmniPrice. But for the others, you would need to run the install on each workstation to get the code in there, but to actually run the install on the workstation, going through the wizard and whatnot, you only have to do that once, except for OmniPrice. You would have to do that for each company because that's company level.
Great. Okay, thank you. And another question, is it licensed per user? Which licensed per user?
each one of our products are all on a per-user license basis, and what that means is the number of users in your GP license has to match our products, but now that is only the full user, and I'm not even going to go into the light or whatever the term today is, but we only have that match the full license. The other licenses, modified licenses, we are unconcerned with.
Okay, great. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, again, I'll be posting this webinar on our website, and I'll include links to brochures on these products and how to access the demo products. And if you're interested in seeing any of these products in a more in-depth, one-on-one sort of demo, we'd be happy to coordinate that for you, so you can contact us here at Tidestone Solutions for that and for pricing information on these products. And if any of you are going to Convergence, that's next week. It's New Orleans. Alicia and Sandy will be there, so look for them. And Marty and Ron
warm there.
So
it's warm there.
Yeah. And for those of you in our local area, we've got our local GP user group meeting on April 23rd, and there's more information about that on our website as well. You can see the link on the screen. It's tidestonesolutions.com. If you do a /category/events, you can see all of our upcoming events. And we would love to see you there. It's a great chance to meet other GP users and bounce ideas around, have a roundtable discussion of how you're using the product and ways to improve on that. And we'll be doing some great demos of some features you might not be aware of as well. And if there are no other questions, I think we're all done and ready to wrap up here. And I want to thank all of you for attending, and again, thank Rockton for providing such great content. And we'll look for you all next month at our next webinar.